Hello again, everyone. This is Coach Shawn with Home Field Instruction. I've put together a series on basic batting, stance, readiness, swing, follow through. This series is geared towards coaches of young players and young players, and by young I mean up to about freshmen in high school. It works for softball and baseball, girls and boys. It's just a very simple, basic way to communicate a proper stance, proper swing readiness, proper load, hip rotation in a way that younger players can understand. So I've done the demonstration with both a softball and a baseball. Today I'm going to use a baseball. But the swing does translate, the basics of the swing translate between girls and boys in softball and baseball. I know there are some nuances as you move up in level. We're not going to worry about those at this level right now. So what we're going to do is assume that we watch the video, we know how to get in a proper batting stance, we know how to load or get in the ready position, and we know how to start our swing. Okay, so I'm not going to cover those in detail. I'll fly through those real fast, and then we're going to take the swing through contact. Again, it's an ideal swing on an ideal pitch. Okay, so I'm in a good stance, my feet are straight forward, weight's on the balls of my feet, knees are bent, knuckles are lined up. My flashlight, my laser, my lightsaber is pointed at the back of the plate. That's a nice stance to be in. Now, pitcher's ready to throw. As he starts to release the ball, I'm going to get in my ready position or my loaded position, take the flashlight of the bat, take it from the plate to the catcher, keeping the distance between my elbows the same. As I rotate my hands, I don't drop them, don't raise them, I just rotate my hands. My elbows have to rotate with it, and I initiate the readiness position by driving this back knee down toward my front foot. Okay, if you want to talk about squishing the bug and twisting your foot, go back and watch the last video. Your foot has to turn eventually, okay, but we want to initiate the swing with this back knee, driving towards that front foot. So we're going to assume in a good stance, load, push down with my back leg, shine my light in the catcher's face. My elbows are still the same distance apart. Oh gosh, that looks like a strike. I'm going to go ahead and swing. But I got to start my swing. This knee starts my swing by driving down, gets my hips started. As my hips start, I rotate my hands. I'm not dropping my hands. Okay, I'm moving my hands back. I'm not straightening out either one of my arms. I'm just taking my hands from this position to this position, shining my light on the first baseman. Now I've got my hips are ready to fire. Okay, my bat's in a nice loaded position down by my shoulder. I'm on the plane that I need to take it through to hit the ball. So what comes next? Okay, you let your hips lead through the swing. That can be tough for a lot of people, okay? There's kind of three phases to that hip use progression. Number one is you don't use your hips at all. That's no good. Number two is they come through at the same time as your body. Not terrible, not ideal. Best thing we want is we want our hips to come through just a little bit ahead of our hands, so that we are getting some muscle tension in our back, coiling up like a spring. So I'm here, started my swing. My hands rotate on the plane. Notice my elbows have stayed the same. From here, I take the knob around my body, keeping my front elbow bent, keeping my back elbow close to my body. Haven't collapsed my elbows yet. Okay? So I go from here, hips, to here. Okay. Notice there's a nice straight line from my knee up out of the top of my head, sitting back on that quad. My front foot, weight's on the outside, my knees straight, front elbow flexed, back elbow flexed. One more time, here, hips, here. Now getting this front leg straight is pretty important because you have two hips. A lot of people, a lot of players are pretty good at bringing this front hip forward, but if you don't take this, or the back hip forward, I'm sorry, bring your back hip forward, and if you don't take your front hip out of the way, you're not going to get good complete hip rotation. Okay, so that takes us to contact. One more time, here, here, there. And I think I may have forgot to mention, keep your eye on the ball. Thanks.